Cindy to come on stage. And now she's gone. Okay, so welcome everybody. This is our weekly sister chat. I'm a Gen Xer. My sister Cindy, who will be joining me shortly, is a boomer. We are 5 years apart. And I was born in 1965. Sis was born in 1960. And we try to talk once a week and a couple times a week and invite you into our living room and into our studio. Today I'm in my living room and we're going to talk about a number of topics today. And damn, we were supposed to go on regular YouTube and lo and behold, I screwed up. So we're going to just do regular tonight, or we might actually jump right back into a new stream. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Hi, Alice Montgomery. What's the topics for tonight? You know, Cindy and I talked about some how-tos so we could bring value. We want to talk the value of doing masks on our faces. Where is my sister? Let me text her and find out what happened, okay? Hold on. Hold on. Do. Oh, here she is. Here she is. Hey, Cindy. I know we talked about doing YouTube, and guess what? I just completely forgot about that.
I went on regular live.
We talked about doing YouTube, and guess what? I just completely forgot.
I know. Regular live. Oh, let me turn this off. I was everywhere. I was on live, then I came back here, then I left there, and I was
guys, I completely dropped the ball. I totally forgot. I've been cooking dinner. I sat down. Lance wants me to edit one of his videos, and I'm like, somebody else wanted me to edit one of their videos.
I know, but
so it's like, and I went and I'm like, I gotta hurry up. I gotta sit down. I gotta get started. And then I just went boom, and I just started it. So
you're stressed. Look at me. I'm trying to send all these things out.
So I gotta get the video back to Lance when he gets back and when we finish our topics for tonight. Alice is here. She wants to know what topic for this evening. Isn't that nice?
Hi, Alice. First, is Alice the one that you were helping, or this someone that?
No, Alice is somebody is a new person visiting us today.
Hi, Alice.
You.
Hi.
Just look what I pulled out of my drawer.
Wow.
Okay, cucumber sheet mask.
So this is really good. Alice, my sister and I don't know if she was telling you this, but Lisa does a lot of retirement, okay, on her channel, but she also does a little bit of cooking, all right? Yeah. Whatever comes in her mind, she puts out content. I'm a little different. I do like beauty, empties, skincare empties, household empties, makeup. So I have like a way to go, plus do vlogging, plus a little streaming. So we're trying to figure out how to fix this channel.
We want to know, Alice, if you're still here, let us know in the comments what it is that you would like to see from us.
Okay. And Alice has a question.
Awesome. I appreciate that.
Okay. This is everything we mentioned. Questions.
So, Alice, I have a topic or a question. I am 61. Okay. 61 years, right? You're 61 years old?
I think that's what she's saying. Yes.
Thanks for saying hi. If you have anything that you wanted to talk about today or interested in, we could talk about semi-retired life. We could talk about
gardening.
Cindy does. Yep. I do gardening. We can talk about Cindy and what she does. We could talk about how we got started in this at our midlife. Cindy started in her mid 50s?
Yes. No, 60s, because I started in 2001, 2002, and I was already in my 60s. So I was 61 maybe.
You started creating YouTube content when you were 61.
Yes.
How do you navigate becoming 61? I'm 60 right now. I just turned 60.
I'm 65.
And now, with regards to becoming 60 and getting out of your 50s, that was a big stepping stone for me, by the way.
Right.
And it was huge for me because my 50s was probably the best generation, that the 10 years that I lived.
Mm-hmm.
I was really challenged in my 40s, and in my 50s, I kind of like found myself. I started creating content on YouTube, TikTok, blah, blah, blah. And that really helped me navigate into my 60s and celebrate it, make it into a milestone. That's okay. Just the dogs are barking. But also I went through menopause in my 50s, and I really feel like I've broken out of that menopause stage. They always say you're in it, but the symptoms of, I'm no longer in it. And I have really embraced my gray in my 60s, my late 50s, and got into it. And from there on, I've just been kind of like reinventing myself. That's how you navigate becoming 60. You reinvent yourself and embrace the new era that is. And really appreciate your lived experiences in life. And know this, and this is where I stand. You are now a woman of counsel and a woman of wisdom, and you are to be celebrated by all the younger generations. That's what I get from my work. When I go to Target and I work around all these young kids, they look at to me like I'm a storyteller, and they love talking to me because I tell them about the past, but I also tell them about my experience in life and how I lived and appreciated all the learning experiences I had. So I can't hear you. You're muted.
When I was in my 20s, I saw everybody in their 60s as the storyteller. Now, okay, you just wait, Cindy, when you get to your age, when you get to my age. But things have changed since then. So when I sort of had so many broken bones in my life ever, I started noticing bone problems as I got older because I'm vitamin D deficiency. When I started in my 30s, the first thing that I noticed as age was reading glasses.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So that was my first thing. Then all of a sudden, now went from reading glasses to more glasses. Then I went to contacts. Then it went to floaters, and now I have early sign of cataracts, right? And I was having, remember I kept saying my blood vessel kept popping, and that's part of it. But it's not where I'm blind and I can't drive and all that. It's not where the medical's going to fix it yet. Yeah. But every year, every age, it keeps going this way. Then in my 40s, I started the valley of menopause. I started showing gray. I started showing, the little tummy in the area. Started to notice that I can't eat much pasta and white bread, and kind of watch what time I eat. And you can eat late, but I'm having a lighter lunch. And then if don't eat before 8 o'clock, because I started noticing I can't do like I used to do. Started noticing don't have coffee at 10 o'clock at night because now I can't sleep. You know, it was just
same thing. I literally can't have 2 cups like I used to anymore.
Right.
It's 1 cup of coffee a day.
Exactly. I noticed that I used to drink, I can have a glass of wine, but if I have 4 glasses of wine, it's quicker on me. I get like, did I only had 4, right? It's just things kind of hit me a little bit. Hair doesn't grow as fast. There's my first, and the first thing I noticed in my late 20s was the little crow feet. So it just progressively started going from there. Now I have arthritis. I've had arthritis in my 30s, but now I wake up in the morning and it feels like I've got a sprain, which is an arthritis pain. So everything I've noticed is things don't heal as fast. And I'm afraid of everything. What's that? What's that mark? Why is that hasn't gone away? Hi, Mary Sue. And I also noticed that you don't heal as fast. You get the broken blood vessels quicker. You bruise quicker. You see the little red marks, your veins. Everything's more apparent, more transparent. It's just part. It's just part of life, right? It's just a part of life, and
Yeah.
you need to work with it.
My hormones started shifting in my late 40s. I had such massive hair loss. It was my thyroid. And
Yes.
then after I started like doing some heavy juicing and stuff, then I think my thyroid readjusted and I don't have hair loss anymore. I also experienced the belly fat from
Yes.
menopause, and I've never
Yes.
gotten rid of it.
I also want to say to you, Lisa, in a positive note, I think you felt your best when you were juicing.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and I still juice today.
Right.
I just cut it back because it, even though it was a healthy thing to do and it still is, and we still juice. Lance is probably going to bring me home a juice anyway. I feel like I was doing too much. Let's admit it.
You got focused on it. You were like,
I was doing it heavily, yeah.
Right.
And you can't sustain that forever. So
right.
so
Well,
now
you
I
got to eat
just
some
do.
roughage. You got to have some. But you got me into juicing, and I think it was all over the ads, and it was all over the stores. And now you may see two machines, but I did feel better. It's something that comes and goes, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I juiced I mean I still juice. We have our juicer. I've gone through like 5. I think
Because you use them.
Yeah, we use them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually the one I have right now is the best one I've had thus far because and oddly enough it's the cheapest. It's a little tiny Cuisinart, and we went through the Brevels. I went through 3 Brevels, an Omega, and now we're on the Cuisinart. And the Cuisinart thus far has been the best because
Really?
see, before we were juicing like batches, but now we're like, the Cuisinart is so small, you can only juice like a glass or 2 at a time.
Right, just like the Ninja or the NutriBullet I had.
Just good for the
I
tabletop.
remember you and Lance used to make, like, he'd make it for a week. He just like, and then shake it up, like. But I have to admit, your skin, because when we saw you, what happened was my family went to Disneyland. We met my sister, and we lived like 3 hours apart. I even said to her, my husband at the time said to her, "You look really good." Your skin was just flawless. I mean, it was just, I think all your nutrients was just absorbing in your body.
So what happens is when you're juicing, your cells, you always have like breakdowns. So imagine your cells don't have the nutrients, so they get kind of like eerie. But when you're juicing, it's like cleaning a new car, and it's now shiny. It's got wax film all over it. Well, that's your epidermis. But see, you age too. So that was 11 years ago. 12 years ago. We cut it back a lot, but at that time, yeah, it really sparked up at that time.
That you got me into juicing, but I didn't want the one that you put everything in and all the stuff comes in the back. The NutriBullet just grinds everything up and then you pour it.
But you know what I was also doing? I was doing coconut oil as a moisturizer.
Yeah.
And I was cleaning my face with Arm & Hammer baking soda. And you said, don't do that.
I feel like Arm & Hammer is too hard on the skin. But that's me. I mean, it's just, I just think it's too hard. I mean, I love baking. I use baking soda on my teeth. And, they've got a book, 1,000 things that you can use for baking soda. I just think some things it's really good. And some things I just don't think it's. Our skin, you don't realize that it breaks down really hard. It breaks the blood vessels and everything. There's a lot of people can't use scrubs. Even the round plastic ones. They're so sensitive. Like, so I know people that they can't even wear certain material because their skin gets red. So I'm not saying that your skin was that way. Maybe you were able to tolerate it.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I would have all my blood vessels will start breaking.
Okay.
But it is a little bit abrasive, I hate to say, on the skin. I think if you're going to do that, then your skin can tolerate that.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty tolerable on a lot of things then. You know what I mean?
Well, I am going back. I just got, and I don't know if I told you this back then, my toner was apple cider vinegar.
Well, you like natural things, right? You're the natural herb person. One time ago, our mom had called homemade things for around the house, like egg whites was good for dry skin, oatmeal was good for exfoliant, oatmeal was good for oilier skin. But for me to do things homemade, it's too messy for me. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like I'm just like, get it out of a tube and put it on. And but a lot of people say, how much is that? And how much is this? You know, it can be a little expensive in time. So that's why you're seeing a lot of drugstores, a lot of even Dollar Tree, I'm being honest, Dollar Tree, they're all trying to get into some kind of skincare program. But it's not that it doesn't work. It's just, and it doesn't mean the best of the best is going to work. It just means that it may not work as fast. It's going to be a slower rate. You know, nothing's going to work overnight. If you don't do anything as a regimen, you're only going to get what potential you're going to get back.
Yeah. Well, I really liked it when I was washing with Arm & Hammer, and also the baking soda, but and I don't know if you noticed, I did a coconut oil hair mask the other day, last week, and it really worked on my hair. So I really like that.
Oh, that's another thing I'll talk about. Let's see, lemon juice. Yes, I used to use lemon juice.
On your face?
On my face. I used to use it for little breakouts, and lemon juice. Oh, I used to use lemon juice on my nails if my nail beds got red, if I wore red nail polish. You know, there was a lot of things in that book that was called Natural Remedy for Everyday Life. And a lot of women used to do things at home because they didn't go to the store and buy products. And, you know, that's not how it was. So our moms, our grandmas did things at home. When you did your mask on your hair, now I'm into hair mask treatments. I thought it looked really good. It looked healthy. Your hair just went sucked up what it can take.
Sucked up all that moisture, and I had a lot of break. Did you see the breakage?
Yes, and you put that processing kept the heat in, you know. So yeah, I think that was great that you did that. I thought like her hair needed it.
Should I have left it on overnight, or should it, with the hour would have been fine?
If you would have left it overnight, you just have to make sure it's not getting on your pillowcase. Put like something on your pillowcase. Don't put a towel, but put something like you're not worrying about. And make sure you don't get too much on your face because you break out real easy. So you may want to put your little, right now, Macy's and Ulta, they have things for at night. Like I have a satin pillowcase.
Okay.
They have satin things that you can put on your hair when you go to bed. So you don't want to get it on your face. I can't use castor oil on my face and things like that because I break out. I break out with these little white specks. It clogs my pores. So I can't even use it on my eyebrows, or I can't use it on my lashes.
Remember that time you guys saw me when you thought my face looked really good? It wasn't just the juicing. I had a regimen of peels done on my face. And they did a real intensive peel. I literally, guys, I don't know if you know this, but some of the peels they put on, I had to pay extra money for it.
Yeah.
And I had to go
for different strengths.
I had to go for 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And she said, don't be surprised if you're going to have blackheads come out like really deep. There must have been, I had forever, like right here, there was like a blackhead. It was just sat there. It was always like a hard knot.
Right.
I never knew what it was. I just left it alone. And when they peeled me, it came out. But it took like 4 sessions for it to finally come to the surface.
Right.
It was in there a long time.
Well, you don't realize your layers of skin, goes like this.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to draw it out. But what happens that, they've got all the professional things, now what can you do at home? I use my little chemical pill over the counter. There is a lot of things they have now that you can do at home. I really like it because it helps fade out my age and sunspots.
I need to get a mirror because I have a lot of congestion. I have a lot of bumps. That's not lumps. It's just like these bumps all over here. And I know that it's from, congestion. She says, my pain shoulder, I always put avocado or effervescent oil. I've heard about that. Mom puts, let's have coffee. She wants to have a coffee. Mom puts olive oil on her knee and she swears that it works, but I don't know. I just use
Hold on. I don't think I'm on live.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, I am.
Yes, it says you're live.
Okay.
It says you're hooked up. You want me to look?
Well, mine right now is like stuck. Let me get out of this here. I'm not going to get out of the phone.
Live where though? On YouTube?
On YouTube.
Right here. This is you.
Oh, I am. Sorry. You're right.
There you go.
Hi, Marishu.
I had shoulder pain for the longest time and I had to see a physical therapist. And then I had to, it was painful. I had a shoulder cuff injury and it just had a little bit of like calcium buildup. And then I had to work it out and it's never, ever, ever come back. But it was extremely painful. Yeah, it was bad. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't drive. I couldn't even sit in the car. Couldn't sleep. It was excruciating. And it was a minor one too.
Right.
So I never had.
What kind of mask did you find?
Oh, I found it in the drawer. It's a cucumber sheet mask with chamomile extract.
Oh yeah, I think you showed that. Didn't you show something like that one time?
This is a different one, but I did have I had something. I had aloe vera mask. The last one was aloe vera.
You did it like 3 years ago.
This is the cucumber. So there you have it. And I don't know where I got it from. Must have come from
got it at Target.
Yeah, I think I got it at Target. It's cute.
You're having coffee, Marishu?
Yeah, I think it's morning there right now.
Yeah. Yeah, she said she was having some hard time sleeping. So anyways, topics. So if anyone's here, my sister and I were thinking of talking about topics about like skincare, makeup, gardening, like we were saying, all different type of things, but something sharing, really good topics. We like talking about our general life, it's because life is life, things happen and it's fun, but we also want to give information just think of it as women talking with a cup of coffee and just relaxing and talk about everything, not just, like for men and women but we just want to just share.
Yeah, because we felt like we weren't bringing value.
Right.
Overall, we were probably bringing controversy.
That's you.
But we didn't need to go down that rabbit hole.
I'm just not the rabbit hole person. If I get in a rabbit hole with something like if I fell or something like that, but I am not the rabbit hole person. I'm just not.
You know what I do to go to sleep, Alice, for me is an herbal tea.
So
I'm an herbal tea person.
Herbal tea. I take magnesium 250 milligrams. And then because the doctor told me that it helps your muscles, relax your brain, and it makes you think of good things. But I didn't know this. I didn't know that Dr. Teal Products carries magnesium in some of his salts, I guess, for his bath. But I was listening in on YouTube. See, I like to listen to people, on other YouTube. And every time, this is the honest truth, everyone. Every time I start watching videos, I'm like, oh, I really like this. And then I find out they don't do it anymore. I'm like waiting for a new
video creators.
Right.
Yeah.
And, I'm watching videos, watching their video. And I'm always getting like the last three. Like the last three. But I don't know that, right? Then all of a sudden I'm watching, I'm like, God, they haven't coming out with a new one. And I looked 4 years ago. So this one content creator said that she uses Dr. Teal spray for sleep. It's got magnesium. It's called oh Jesus. I'm gonna go find it. It's a spray for your pillows, and you spray it, and it's supposed to make you sleep better. Nice. Because I get insomnia. Oh, it's what's those vitamins that you take? It's called
like melatonin or something?
Yes, melatonin in a spray. Okay. So let me tell you why I'm saying this. So I saw this content creator, and this was 3 years ago. She said she was taking 2 milligrams or no more than 10 milligrams in melatonin, that it made her sleep really good. So so disclaimer, I am not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. I'm just talking about my personal, what happened to me. And I go to the doctor, and the doctor says, I don't want you taking that anymore. I mean, like, done.
Okay.
Because you know how they ask you, what do you take? And I said, oh, I take cranberry, I take vitamin D, and okay. When I put the melatonin and it was low, they said, no more.
Why?
No. I asked that. I can't believe every doctor that I go to, because I have a thyroid specialist, and I have my skin doctor because I had my skin cancer, including the Dr. Yamaguchi, the one that did my when I had my biopsy. They all said none. They feel like
but they didn't tell you why.
They feel like it's just like a sleeping agent. It makes you sleep, like beyond sleep. And I didn't understand that. I was like, well, what it's not even that. It's not a sleeping pill. It's a melatonin. It's supposed to regulate and sleep better. They said no.
Interesting. Well, I just do the teas. I do herbal teas at night.
They mentioned herbal tea. That's when they told me to start taking magnesium. So I went and bought magnesium.
Magnesium.
Magnesium. Mm-hmm. And then they also said there's natural spray things that you can put on your pillow.
Like lavender or maybe some peppermint.
So I didn't see any. I didn't see nothing like that. And I'm watching. This is the strangest thing. 2 days ago, I'm watching, because you told me that Dr. Teal's has salts that has magnesium.
The Epsom salt is Epsom salt is magnesium.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good for your muscles and nerves.
Right. That's what it said.
I'll tell you that whole story about when I was working at Target.
Okay. So in the morning, I'm exercise. I do a lot of Denise Austin exercise because it keeps my bones going and keeps me stretch. And it's an exercise program. So what's going to come on an exercise program? Commercials. Yeah. It's going to be vitamins, magnesium, talks about brain and makes you rest better, think of good things, it makes your body relax. So that's why the doctors got me on that. And then it came out with the spray.
Yeah.
On the pillowcase. And I was like, there you go.
So did you buy it?
I'm going to go when I go to Walmart to see if I can find it and put it on my pillowcase, mm-hmm. and then just sleep. Now, someone said they had it at the Dollar Tree. I don't know if it works, but I don't know, but I'm going to check it out.
Well, here's my disclaimer since I'm not a doctor, but
right.
And I talk to a lot of people who work in at Target because I started mm-hmm. there 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. I got to tell you, man, I was in a lot of pain. I'd come home and my legs would
Mhm.
cramp. My legs were sore because they were working me till like 10 o'clock at night.
Okay.
And I'd come home and I would be restless. I'd go lie down and I would have so much pain in my legs. So
Right.
a lot of people talk over there at Target or in retail in general. Do
Mhm.
you know a lot of the older people who work in these retail stores when they work at night or anytime, they go home and they soak their feet in a warm or hot magnesium bath. They said, especially at night before you go to bed, they told me
Just to relax, right? To get
they
all those nerves.
all the nerves that I was having, all the cramping, all that nerve stuff I was having all the way up to my knees, Cynthia, it just rested them. I would go to sleep at night, have zero pain, my feet all the way up to my thigh. I was gone. And I was like, this is good, you know? So, but as I got more and more stronger, I don't do it as much, but there are times that I'll come home and I'll go, I really need to soak my feet, you know?
Well, when I was talking about again the doctor, because he said to me, well, have you tried taking a nice little hot bath? And he mentioned Dr. Teal,
Yeah.
whatever that thing is.
Dr. Teal's Epsom
Right.
salt stuff.
So he said, so this is what he said. He goes, so when you have time, he goes, just like you do your hair treatment, because he sends his mom where I work at. He goes, oh, tell the girls. He goes, I send my mom all the time to your stores because you guys know about skincare, but we don't know medical stuff. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So he goes, I'm sure you've heard of this, right, Cindy? And I said, I don't know. Tell me what you're going to tell me. He goes, have a nice hot tea, nice herbal tea to relax. He goes, don't drink any more coffee and don't drink decaffeinated. Just stay away from if you're having some hard sleep.
And the alcohol too.
That's what he said. And listen, he goes, when you want to sleep, when you're having issues. And then he goes, same time, take a nice hot bath with that. And then he goes, get the spray that he has. And I didn't even know he had the spray. And guess what he does? And they're showing it now.
Mm-hmm.
They're showing it on the YouTube commercial, especially when I'm doing the exercise. All of it was on there. So that does tell you that people are having a lot of problems, sleeping patterns, achy patterns, because it's happening, I guess, out there. And that's like the first questions when you go to a doctor. Do you have any sleeping problems? Can you relax? Can do this? And I'm just like, well, I'm the first one says, nope, I can't sleep at night.
Well, I can sleep, but I do like to listen to a podcast before I go to sleep.
Yeah.
There's certain creators that I listen to and I go right to sleep.
Yeah, but they don't like that either.
Yeah, well, I do it
no,
anyway.
I don't. He just said, he goes, no, he goes, if you're going to do that, I'd rather you listen to music. I was like, huh, interesting. He says that we collect things in our ears, I guess. I don't know. I was like, okay. I was like, I don't know.
But thanks for that question, Alice. We appreciate it.
Yeah, look how we just started going. We're just rambling along. We have, as I say, it really helps. And he also says to exercise early in the morning. So when I go to bed at night, it keeps, my day gets me going. And I noticed that when I used to exercise early in the morning and I would go through the day, I'd sleep a little bit better at night. But I have cut back on my coffee at night. But like I said, when I was in my 30s and 20s, I could have 2-3 cups of coffee at Denny's and go to bed. Can't do that anymore. And my mind never used to race like that.
Oh, I stopped racing. My mind stopped racing when I took hypnotherapy. I did hypnotherapy. I would go to bed every night because I had anxiety, and so I did sleep hypnotherapy.
Mm-hmm.
Gone forever.
I knew a lady at work. She said she was hypnotized to do quit the smoking, and she said it worked on her.
Yeah. Yeah, she probably. I did the.
I was like, really?
Do it for. I listened to the same hypnotherapy guided meditation every night for over a year, and when I went to bed, he did the whole thing about relaxing your muscles, your arms, all the way shoulder, your head, your eyes. I would every night, and he would walk me through a guided meditation for anxiety. boom, I'd go to sleep for over a year and my anxiety was gone. No more spinning thoughts, no more worrying. Things people said didn't get to me anymore. No more like all that panic attack feeling.
So do you feel from that being hypnotized really worked, like that was it from
100%.
there on? And my other question is, when he hypnotized you, do you remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember you being out?
Yeah. I would go to sleep with the hypnotherapy.
Were you listening to it or you went to somebody?
I was listening to it.
Oh, so you didn't go to somebody. You just heard it on a podcast.
Not a podcast. It was back in the day where you had to buy the little MP3 sound.
Yeah.
And so this guy sold his recording, a hypnotherapy recording.
Oh.
And I had it in a little, this was before iPhones.
Right.
And before downloading anything. And I bought it. I downloaded it into my little MP3 square little device. I put my head stuff on at night. I turned it on and I would listen to it. It was so good.
Wow. Marishu says, my neighbor surprised me asking me why it's been a long time, didn't see me here in the store. Oh. And you weren't, see, I'm afraid of that. I'm afraid that if I go in and they're not there.
No, it's just guided meditation.
Is that all it is?
It's all guided, but it's hypnotherapy.
Yeah.
And you listen to it constantly. They have you look at images in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And they tell you what the images are. And they change your behavior. And then, and so you start getting, responding to it. But it takes takes about a month. You do it every day for a month. Just like they say you should do something for 90 days and it becomes a habit. So you do it every single day. I did it for over a year.
Wow. I was always taught if you do something for 28 days, it'll start to be a habit that you have to do it. And then 90 days supposed to be you're locked in or something like that.
Just like content. It's becoming a part of my life now. I've been doing it for 3 years. When I started on TikTok, I was posting every single day for 1 full year. Didn't miss a beat.
No matter how tired you were?
No matter how tired I was. I had to post something every day. No matter how tired I was. Didn't miss a beat. And then now, it's just expanded from there. It's just a part of my life. Now, I don't post every day, but
you also don't do long videos.
No, I don't do short videos anymore. I do long form now.
Okay. So you don't go on short videos on YouTube anymore?
I don't do that many short videos anymore. You
still do, not as often.
Is not. I think the last. Okay, hang on. I did on September 18th. I did a short form video. The next one I did was yesterday on TikTok. Yesterday. And then I did one last night. Isn't that crazy? So now I just do long form.
When I do a lot of videos, I'm wiped out at the end of the week. I'm like, because I have to edit it, and I want to do it right.
Yeah, you do a lot of heavy editing and I don't. Because everybody knows Lisa hates editing video.
That's why a lot of people like live. Because you don't
edit. 100%.
You don't edit.
And you also get your time online. I mean, you and Greg used to go live. People actually looked forward to it on the Saturday night.
Yes. And you wouldn't think so, but they do. And they did. But that's the only time he was able to do it. It was on Saturday nights.
And you guys had a good time. You both used to
Yeah.
used to be like, oh my God, we've been here 3 hours now.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're new to my channel, I was married. I didn't get a divorce. My husband passed away on June 6th. So, just recently. So
Your doctor, Alice, left a message. She intended to take away her sleeping pills.
They don't like it.
Listen to your doctor, whatever your doctor.
Yes.
Yeah.
They don't like it. I mean, mine was melatonin. I think it was like maybe 5 milligrams. I got the lowest that they had. And they went like, done. I mean, seriously, they actually went outside and told Greg, we don't want her taking that anymore.
Wow.
I was shocked. Yeah. So I just got afraid. It made me felt like, okay. And it just wasn't one doctor. It was all of them.
I haven't taken melatonin since the 90s.
I'll be honest. Okay. So it's not a sleeping pill.
No.
But I would really fall asleep. Like, I've had surgery. I've had surgery in my life too. And it's like the weirdest thing to be put under, because it's like, well, first of all, it's like you're put under and you're like, oh, deja vu. It's like you wake up. It's like, did I just fall asleep? And you don't know it. But it's like blank. Because they always say, have a good night's sleep. Now you're going to get the best sleep.
So you don't even dreaming.
Remember.
So I don't when you were dream. When you were on melatonin, you didn't get dreams.
Right.
So you must have been like in a catatonic state then.
Right. And when I would take the little milligrams, that's how it felt like, and it was and that's what the doctor said, no more. So maybe my brain, and he just said, no, I don't think it's a good idea.
Well, there's a lot of reasons why doctors steer you one way or the other. They might be like a reaction, or maybe you're taking another kind of medication. But I suggest to Alice to just talk to your doctor. Yeah. And if you're not happy with the decision, I would say get a second opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anything, me, the doctor said I can't do this, so I won't. Don't do that. I won't do that.
But unfortunately, my doctor's no longer, I don't know where she went, but now I have switched to another doctor, who I haven't seen, by the way.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Now that's another thing. As I gotten older, I see more doctors. It's like I'm always afraid. And
I heard about that.
Huh?
I heard you see the doctor more often now.
Right. Have you noticed that? I never used to go to the doctor. Now it's like any little, I'm not a hypochondriac, but I've had, I had a biopsy on my breast. I had skin cancer. So now I'm just a little bit more like, more in tuned than I ever before. If something doesn't go away, I want to know why.
I honestly think that my juicing really helped me out over the years, because sometimes when I'm feeling kind of icky, I'll just go straight to a juice. Right. Like I'll just go, okay, you know what? I'm off balance. Boom, boom, boom. Or I search instead, saying, okay, I have like shoulder pain. Well, shoulder pain, they say, is a sign that you have like toxic liver. So I'll go, okay, what should I do for toxic? Oh, okay, I'll drink beets.
The other thing what my doctor says, he would say, are you reading Google? And I'm like, yeah, don't read it anymore.
I know. I can't help it though.
It said this, it said that. He's like, I can't help it. You want to hear this? So remember when Dakota had bladder stones? I'm talking to the vet, right? Talking to the vet, and I'm telling him that everything that Google said, and he just stood there and looked at me. He goes, he stood there and he goes, "Who's the veterinarian?" I mean, seriously. And I was like, well, I'm not the vet. He goes, no, don't go on Google. He's like, I said, why? He goes, because it's going to tell you. They don't like that. I mean, they're like,
I've done some things that my doctor doesn't like. I did colon hydrotherapy. My doctor didn't like that. It was like, you did what? Don't ever do that again.
It's like,
don't you ever do that again. Do you have any idea? Like,
I know. It's like, well, he goes, you don't need me, so go ahead and do whatever you need to do.
But at least I told her, like, she's like, I go, well, you need to know I've done colon hydrotherapy. I've done certain types of home enemas. What? Don't ever do that again.
Exactly.
One time I had a fever, and I told her, I said I had a fever, and I got garlic, and I heated it up, and I let it cool off, and I said I did an enema. She's like, don't you ever do that again. You're not ever supposed to be doing stuff like that. I go, well, I try anything.
I try not to look at that. It's all four of them. What are you looking at, Cindy? The veterinarian one was the one that cracked me up. He just stood there saying, I guess you're the vet. You know what I mean? It's like, I didn't say it was the vet. I'm like, do you think she's got this? Do you think she's got that? He's like going, I'm the vet. I will decide.
But I mean, when I went through menopause, I made it very clear I wasn't going to go, well, menopause, like cucumbers are really good to regulate your body temperature, but it doesn't work.
Right.
I mean, I still had the hot flashes, but they were like, oh, you should do like menopause. Your menopause, do like cucumber juice, which is fine.
Right.
Do cucumber juices anyway. I mean, it has nothing to do with menopause. Just do it. But I was like, yeah, I do like cucumber shots with my juicer and celery, and they were like, well, that's good, but don't rely on that. Right. So what's going on? I just told them, well, this is going on with my menopause. It's the hot flashes, this. And then they give me options, and they're like, do you want to do these? And I would say, no, I don't want to do those, and I'll just say, okay. And one of them told me to take she wanted me on a mood enhancing thing, but I was like, well, I don't know. She's like, well, I'm going to subscribe it anyway.
Right.
If you want to take it,
right.
Take it. If not, then that's fine too. You have the option. Okay. Right. So I was like, okay.
But you have to admit, doctors, I have like if you go to Dignity Health that I go to, there's like 5 doctors there. And sometimes I'll have to see somebody and my doctor's not there. It is amazing how each one got different personalities and how each one kind of, they all say the same, but in a different way. Mm-hmm. Or they'll say like, oh, they told you that? No, I don't see, so they all have their own little personalities. You know what I'm saying? But it's interesting.
Do you still do collagen?
Collagen powder?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do collagen powder. I do. I got vitamin B12. I got Cindy. I got biotin.
Okay.
I take 10,000 milligrams of biotin. Take my collagen peptide powder every morning. I don't take my cranberry anymore. I don't need it anymore. And then
you put your collagen in your coffee?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really faithful in it. Now, I have tried different ones because, so I feel as we get older, our collagen begins to flatten out. When babies are born, if you look at their skin, it is unbelievable. It's just plump full of collagen. Mm. And as we get older, those collagens don't speed up anymore. All those amino acids, they all start going away, and we have to put back. And I really am a believer. I like it. I like taking it on the outside, my retinols and all that stuff. And then I like my amino acids on the outside. Then I also like my internal.
So you know what I've been doing in the morning now is instead of reaching for the coffee first, mm-hmm. I've been reaching for lemon water mm-hmm. and what was I doing before? Apple cider vinegar, just a dash. Mm-hmm. And I've been reaching for that, drinking it. You can literally feel it running through your whole system.
Well, they say that if you drink a glass of water, as far as I know, they say it moves everything in your body. It starts waking up. This is what I read.
It does.
There is a coworker. She is faithful every morning. She drinks warm water. Her husband, take their warm glass of water. And she says she feels like everything in her body begins to move because you've been laying for so long. And she's from the Philippines and she's a big believer in it. She says that every morning she just feels like things starts moving around, and they say that a lot of people say that it works.
It does. And I'll sleep. I'll go lie down quietly and let the water just drain through, and you feel it draining through your organs.
Yes, your organs,
your gut, your intestines.
Yes.
You could feel like your bowel move, and it's like, I was like really shocked. So I've been doing it every single morning. Well, I'm pretty low maintenance anyway.
Sometimes we forget what we do. Like a lot of times I'll watch something or hear somebody, I go, I used to do that. I mean, we forget what we do because we start listening to something else that comes up and we start doing that. But I try to be really consistent. I do try. Like I found out that I had a lot of potassium in my body and I was eating a lot of bananas. And it was too much. I was overly potassium. Sometimes when you have too much, it's too much. So
right.
The doctor told me I had to cut back. But I had no D, no calcium. So because I don't drink milk.
Got it.
I don't drink milk. I have a lot of biotin. I have all that stuff in you could tell that what you drink is what shows up in your blood work. It's like amazing to me.
If it makes you feel better, then, obviously it's doing something positive.
Yeah.
Alice says it's best to go for your own solutions. I love visiting my doctor, and I love telling my doctor everything that I'm doing. Well, everything.
I have found out some things that I probably should have said in the past, and I didn't say it because I was afraid to say it. But that's number one. Number two, the day when I hit the wall and I felt something perk me and I thought it was like a bug bit me. Remember, that's what we had the carcinoma. If I never would have gone in, how far that would have gone in my bones. You know what I mean? And I kept looking at it and going, oh, it's going to go away. So this is the honest truth. So I started putting hydrocortisone on it. I put Bactine on it. I put Neosporin on it. We're talking about all December. And then all January, I'm like, this thing's not going away. Or it would dry up, fall off, and come back. Like It was just like this little round. And I go, you know what? I need to go. I need to go. It wasn't red. It wasn't bleeding. It was none of that stuff. It just was not going away.
Oh, I have something like that right here.
Well, let me tell you a story. I have a friend, and you know who she is. She's a friend. She had something on her head. She's the one that had like the surgery. She has like cancer on her top of her head. They had to dig that much. For 10 years, she would have this bump and then it would flake off. Then would have this little bump. Then it would flake for 10 years. And one day that thing was not small, like she felt like it was overnight, and she went like, okay, now this thing is it's not like, like when you get like a wart comes off kind of like that.
Yeah, I think it's a wart.
Right. Okay. So she went in, it was skin cancer. It was in her scalp. And she had like this much, and they had to go down twice. Because first they take it out, then they got to do a biopsy. That's what they did in my leg. And they got to see if they got to go back in.
Okay.
And they had to go back in. Because we're talking about 10 years. And that's what the doctor told me. When I had it on the side, that means it came to its surface. Okay. So it went like this, and it was going down. So when it hit like this is when I felt it. Think of that as and it was growing down. So he says, oh, you've had that forever. It doesn't happen overnight. He goes, you didn't get this in the last 6 months. Mm-hmm. It's just been, it was doing this. It was going both ways.
Okay. Well, my doctors looked at it. She was like, "Oh, we'll just keep an eye on it." Like,
Yeah, well, that's
all
what they
these
did
other
the
little
first
things,
time.
like here. She's
Mhm.
like, "We'll just keep an eye on it. If it changes, it's all about if it changed." She told me, "We'll just keep an eye on it."
Yeah,
Blah, blah,
they'll
blah.
keep an eye.
Yeah.
I actually had something on my hair when I was a little girl, and then I went to the doctor. Charlotte saw it. She did like a little wax, and she goes, "What's this?" And I didn't see it. I couldn't see it. She goes, "You need to go." It was a hairdresser. Goes, "You need to go check that out." Guess what? It was something. So they froze it off. They freezed it. Didn't go away. They freeze it, then it just went away. But what happens? I never would have checked it. That's from the sun hitting from driving.
That's what she told me. She said we could probably freeze like this. If it changes, we'll freeze it. You know.
But when they freezed it on my knee, side of my knee, something was wrong. It wasn't going away.
But you take after Dad. Dad had the moles.
Yeah.
I don't have the moles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lance has moles. He had, when he was a little boy, he had one of those where they dug down, they had to go in deep, and they had to pull out the roots.
Well, that's so gross. They kept going.
He's got a big old scar on his side. I was like, I thought it was a stab wound. He goes, "Nope, that was a little boy," and they went in, they took it out, and I was like, "That's gross,
I know,
dude."
When I had it done, the doctor shows me, and I looked at it. I was like, I went there like I didn't need to see that.
And they say sometimes it smells funny. It smells.
I don't know. He showed me when he took it out. He goes, "Do you want to see?" And it's like weird. It's like it was kind of like white. And he goes, "No, those are the roots." It looked like it was like, I was like, "Oh God." I'm all, "What is that?" It was like, there's my skin, and there was like little white things like veins. And he goes, "Those are not veins."
That's what Lance told me. He goes, "They had roots." I was like,
"Okay."
Like, oh,
I was just like, ugh. I just think about it right now, and I'm like, ugh. Anyways.
See, now you made me aware of it, so I'm like itching.
Ugh. I almost fainted, and I was half awake, half asleep, and I was like, "Oh my God." And he kind of knew. He goes, "I think we got it all." I was like, "Please." He goes, "Oh, this has been like for a while."
I mean, you made it look like he's all hanging it out.
I looked at him. I'm like, "Thanks a lot." He's like,
and they usually know when they see it. They'll know.
Yeah.
They'll be like, yeah.
But it's just, it's like, okay. And of course, they have the other surgeon that's learning how to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, ugh. Oh, yeah, it's been like that for a while.
That's gross.
I finally saw that TV show, the one you said they went in the general hospital.
Oh, you saw the YouTube?
Oh my God.
Where those guys went into the general hospital where they would film the surgeries?
They had two of them. They had 2 or 3 areas of
they had 2 or 3 of those rooms. That's like they're famous.
Did they even stand in there? Did you see how small that place was?
Yeah, because the doctors would have to lean over and watch.
I was shocked because it was like about as big as this.
Yeah, it was just a little table. Then it went straight up with seats, and people would watch the surgery.
But the poor patient on this metal, huh?
I'm telling Lance he had to go through the back door.
Oh, okay. The poor patient on that metal, it looked like it just spun around. It wasn't even.
Yeah, like a gurney.
It was. I felt so bad because I went to the general hospital back in 1974, and I kind of don't remember all that, but I remember the floors and all that stuff. And then they go into another one, and it was smaller than the big one. And I'm like, how do these people do surgery? I mean, you got to have the oxygen. You got to have the tool person. I mean, I'm like, these people weren't, I don't think they were treated quite nice. You know what I'm saying? It was like they had 3 rooms to do surgery, and it looked cold. That's what the one guy says. That must have been cold in here because, you know, while they were doing, you know, when you go in for surgery, they got a blanket on you. They put like warm it up. They didn't get all that. It's like really cushion. They just take you and put you in another bed.
The room is all tile. The room was all tile. Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. Well, you know, our grandmother was there. Dad's mom was in General Hospital, and she hated it. You know, she says, and I remember her. I was only about 5, but she told Mom that it was in a cold environment, and I can see that. I can see that. They still had files of
Yes,
patients
it's
on the
weird.
floor.
It's like they just walked away. It was weird. It looks like they just dropped everything, just walked away, and just left everything there behind. It was weird. They have like,
as is.
yeah, it was. It's a weird scene, and it wasn't designed that way. They
No.
just walked into it and said, "Hey, look at this room with all these files and tester tubes sitting around." It was weird.
There. And then they had a section where they did the surgery, and you could see the buildings of LA. It was like right there. You know what I mean? It's like the
Cars
big windows
driving-
was right.
Cars driving by.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. It was just, and then they did say that certain floors were closed down, but they had certain floors were still open. But he says, did you see the one? So General Hospital, if you're new to our channel, it's in Los Angeles. It is General Hospital, County Hospital. It's one of the biggest hospitals there is. And I think it was made back in 1930s. And it was huge. I mean, absolutely huge. So anyways, it's closed now. And some other content creators went to the General Hospital and they got in. Okay.
Yeah.
And it was I was there when I was not a little girl. I was in high school, but I wanted to be a nurse. And I went they used to take every year during October, I think it was, or September, right when school starts, they would take people down there as a field trip if you want to be a nurse. And that changed my whole view. That hospital, I was like, that's probably why. So anyways, and it was cold in there. It was a cold environment. I remember that. Well, it was cold. But anyways, what was I getting to? So the guy goes that certain floors closed and some floors stayed open. I watched the whole thing. This time I really wanted to see it. They still had, like, if somebody was writing notes and it was left like that.
Yeah.
The guy goes, did you see this? He goes, he picks it up. He goes, somebody was writing stuff and left it here.
Like,
I mean,
okay, we're closing this down.
It was
Everybody
a
walk
patient's,
away.
It's still manila folder, being the pin's on it. The pin was still sitting there. That's so eerie.
Well, I have when I used to work at one particular location, like a job. Oh, thank you. Okay, Lance just got me. Ooh, hang on. Prosecco. Rosé. Sorry. The job at the end of the night, they would do their work, and when their shift was over, they just drop, get up, and leave.
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
That thing's half time.
Abandoned.
Walk away. My shift is over. I gotta go.
Yeah,
bye.
just leave everything in. So what happens if that place closed down? Everything is there, sits as is. I mean, like, it's going to be there.
Because there's people who come to work the next day and they find out that their office has been shut down where they got the chains on the door.
Yeah, so everything is left.
You imagine leaving work with your pen sitting there, maybe even your own favorite things at your desk or whatever, and you just go home and then you show up to work the next day.
Yes.
And all the doors are shut down. Say the sign says we're closed.
They go into one of the rooms that they're going to do the surgery. Like, there's this room that has all the stuff, like the towels are still there, the robes are still there. So the guy goes, look at this. He goes, the oxygen is being taken out, and half the oxygen, like they were going to do surgery and they didn't finish it. Like they didn't put everything back, or they were taking it out. The guy goes, this is like everything is stopped.
That's what happened during the situation. The situation when we all left downtown LA to go home.
Everything was his.
We left LA. We finished the day. We're going to go home. It's like a Thursday or a Wednesday. I forgot. But anyway, Then the mayor comes on TV and
Oh,
he
yeah,
says,
when they did the
we're
trade,
shutting
yeah,
the whole city down effective immediately.
like that.
So we get a phone call the next day, and the boss says, they're giving you guys an hour and a half to drive in, pick up your personal things, and go back home. That's all you have. You have to be here, you have to get it done before, let's say, 11 o'clock.
And how many people even did that in other places?
And when we went, Cynthia, there was no toilet paper in the entire office. Everybody was taking the toilet paper. They were taking the toilet paper. They were taking all the personal possessions. They were taking all the stationery. We're talking about from your boss. You're raiding your own office, your own employer, because you don't know if you're going to come back.
Guess what? When you did come back, they had to go buy some stuff. Go find it.
I just never forget that. And when we came back, it was crazy. It was like the boss had, I had to make all these spray bottles to put on every single desk. And then you guys come in and this is the procedure. And I was like,
well, when Greg says, when they did that at the casino, because the casinos are open 24 hours. And it wasn't him, but it was somebody else told Greg that they were like, hi, Peyton. They were like these other people were like kind of like the last one. He was talking to one of the security guys.
Yeah.
And the security guy says, when we left, they were the last ones to make sure the doors and everything. And all of a sudden he told Greg this, he went, poof, everything was turned off. Like everybody got out. There's one door open, two doors downstairs, like checking everything. So it was security, the big boss, a bunch of like the big boss. Okay, so they say, and they have to like da 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 da. Okay, so everybody goes out, and he told Greg it was the most eerie thing to see this casino just
shutting down.
Lights, everything just went out.
Even the slot machines went out too. And everything, the power.
He goes, you can hear it just like, and it's just like you can see the lights.
Peyton. That's crazy.
And he said, so then you shut the doors, and then they go. And he says it was just a weird, like. And he walked out. He looked out. You know how they show casinos that are no longer open? Like you could tell they're just. It looked like that, like
an abandoned mall.
Yes. They still had security on the out perimeters, but it was the guy that even the security guy that worked on the outside didn't even want to be. Because he just said they had two people. They said it was weird. It was like there was nothing. There was no sound there. And then of course the towns, like the cities, it was kind of quiet. It was just like everything was just. Because remember, they were only allowing so many people in and so many people out.
Yeah.
20, so it was just weird. So then finally, I think they went back to 3 weeks. But they said that to Greg, that it was the most oddest thing to see. Everything just go.
I had a funny attitude when I left that day. I was like, bye, everybody.
Well, yeah,
like we were all excited to have time off. Everybody really wasn't worried. We're like, see you in a couple weeks, bye. And it turned into
people didn't. Yeah, Megan loved it. I was bored. But yeah, he just told Greg it was just that I can see that that odd. I remember I was driving on the 15 freeway to go to Vegas, and there was some if you drove down towards Vegas, there were like old hotels that were no longer, like they would be a hotel. Then you would drive like 15 minutes and there'd be another hotel. Then finally you got down to Vegas. You can see it's all dark and, eerie. So I was watching, what was his name? Hugh Hauser. Remember Hugh Hauser?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Hugh Hauser was talking to somebody that actually went to the casino, and one of the casinos they were gonna try to repurchase it, but nobody ever bought it. So now it's not even there anymore. The building's gone.
Where is this? What part of Vegas?
Like it's like Peru, Vegas. You're going into Vegas, going
Oh yeah, okay,
like the
okay.
main freeway, the 15. They used to have hotels there. They're no longer there. And they told him that they opened it up and everything is dark in there. It's not all the tables are there. It's like the most eerie feeling you can see to walk into something that
That's what Buffalo Bills is like, I hear. Or
well, Buffalo
the
Bills is reopened.
Prim, the one across the street from it is
The
closed.
Buffalo Bill's been reopened, but the one across Whiskey Pete's is closed.
Whiskey Pete's, okay. Yeah.
So Greg and I were driving home and we go to Buffalo Bill's because it was reopened. It wasn't real packed, but it was like, I think the Denny's was open, but the buffet place wasn't open. And then anyways, so then we go to Whiskey Pete's across the street. We go to Whiskey Pete's across the street, and it is like nobody's there. We
That's
knew
so
it was going to
sad.
close. It was going to close, and it was just like falling apart.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
Now the one you guys went back to go visit was the one that had the little flume ride. Right? They had the water ride. You
That
go
was
inside.
the Buffalo Bill.
That was Buffalo, yeah.
Yeah, they haven't reopened the amusement.
But everybody was so happy that it was back.
At least it was back open, and people were real pleased. The sad thing about it, I was talking to one of the people that were there. They were an older couple. They were saying that they remember the days when Whiskey Pete's and Buffalo Bill and those hotels that are no longer there anymore were jamming. And some of them went there because they lived in Victorville or they live in Barstow. So they don't want to go into Vegas. They just want to go to it, So you figure, okay, they only have to drive an hour. They can go home the same night if they wanted to. And they couldn't do that anymore, So they had just Whiskey Pete, then Whiskey Pete nobody was going there anymore. So they were happy at least Buffalo Bill's reopened.
I want to say a lot of that started because of the Indian casinos in California.
Yeah, because now they can go to their own. Exactly.
I think a lot of that. Palm Springs has so many casinos now.
Right.
The Valley Spring or whatever it's called, Spring Valley, whatever. When you go to Indio, there's going to be a casino there. When you go to Palm Springs, there's going to be a casino.
And maybe these people that live in Victorville or Apple, I don't know. But maybe there's a back freeway that goes towards Palm Springs and they're there in an hour. You know what I mean? So doesn't help those people anymore.
It doesn't help them. No. And here, like in LA, honestly, all we have is the Pachanga. That place gets.
Oh, it's busy. But Chumash gets busy too, and people don't have to drive anymore. There's people that don't even go to Vegas anymore. They don't even go to Laughlin anymore. They don't need to go there anymore. Yeah.
We talked about that the last visit where they talk about the restaurants. Yours was the Willows. Ours is the Steakhouse. I mean, fantastic. You know what I mean? You go there for the day, you have dinner, you play. Maybe you leave 9, 10 o'clock at night. You'll be home in an hour and a half.
Right.
Take a shower, go straight to bed and relax.
Yeah, you're done.
And I told you about the couple down the street, right? The retired couple.
No, what happened?
They're retired. He's ex-Navy and his wife is whatever. I don't know what she was, but you see, they go, Cynthia, 3 to 4 times a week.
Well, they get Greg says there was people that they saw every day.
They pack a lunch, they get their stuff together, they get in the car. And I mean, when I was waking up in the morning at 2 o'clock in the morning to go to work, I always have the window open. I'd look out and they were coming home because they'd sleep all day.
Yeah. Greg's dad used to get up at 4 a.m. when he was alive.
Okay.
And him and his uncle, because his mom passed away like when Megan was not even born yet. and go to the casino from 5 o'clock in the morning till about 10. Come home. They go right down the 91 highway, which is in about 20 minutes. They're back home in Lompoc. Go have breakfast, take a nap, go back at 6 or 7 o'clock, and they're there till 11 o'clock. Go home, go to bed, get up at 4, go back at 5. 7 days a week.
However, when they did it, those casinos were the trailers, the smaller casinos.
Long time ago, yes.
And they had slot machines, but I know this for a fact, that the patrons would win. So they would win enough to pay for their day, to maybe have a burger at the coffee house, a coffee, go home, and then go back later. And they always had those big bonuses, like giveaways.
Right. He kept playing with the money that he was winning. He would win 200, so he goes back, and then he was never rich. He just kept playing with whatever he was.
I knew that because I used to have a friend. His name was Terry. Terry worked at the same office. He was the oldest employee there. He was in his 70s already, maybe late 60s. And every weekend, Terry would go to the Morongo Casino that was once trailers.
Yes.
And it used to be, now it's all a big bougie casino now. But
Yeah.
he would go there. He also go to the Pachanga, but he would go spend most of his days at the Morongo, play Buffalo slots.
Yeah.
And they would come around and they would give people credit points to play.
They used to give a lot.
If you racked up enough points, whether or not you were winning or losing, they would give you more points to play. They would give you a free lunch or a visit to the hot dog stand, because they didn't have a buffets in these places at the time.
Right.
Just so that you would stick around and stay there.
I remember this lady, I was playing a slot. I only play like a penny and just a few cents. And now they're 75, now they're 80 cents. There were, it was not much. And
that is true. There was a penny a roll.
Yeah. And now it's gone up. And this lady sits behind me. And we're talking about, she just sat, she put her purse down. All of a sudden, maybe 2 handles, but she did the full max and she won like $15,000. Like, she just sat. And I said, "Oh my God." She goes, "Honey, I put in $15,000 in here. I'm getting my money back." She was all happy, but she says, "Honey, they have
thousands."
She says, "I still haven't made back my money."
Yeah. Truth be told, that's why you don't hear them screaming when they win.
I know,
big money.
I was all happy for her, and she was happy. She goes, "I just won $15,000." She goes, "I got some of my money back."
I got some of my money back. But back in the day, it was a penny, like a spin.
No more.
It wasn't 5 cents.
Oh, I know.
50.
It's changed. To get the full max, you got to put. Yeah, it's a 30 cents or 25 cent slot, but you got to put in $1.50 to get the.
Yeah, and in order to get the big jumbo, you always had to play what's called a max bet.
But what's going on?
It started off as a penny.
Yeah, I know. I got the dogs. Hold on.
So you put $1 in, you get 100 spins.
Hey.
Craziest thing. Now it's just like you lose the minute you throw your money in. You're not gonna win. The house always wins, as they say. So Cynthia's got dogs. So do I. Lance got me a Prosecco. It's a rosé and it's delicious. And that's another thing. When you get older, you really shouldn't be drinking hard liquor. I don't recommend it for anybody. It's really bad for you. Hard liquor.
Oh, my dogs. So anyways, Greg used to come home, right? And he would come home with a couple of oranges. He came home with Wrigley's. I'm like, "What are you coming home with some oranges and a toothbrush?" And not toothbrush, I mean like gum. I'm like, he goes, oh, these are my tips. They'll say, Greg, I don't have anything, but I got an apple. Greg used to go, don't worry about it.
Some of them would like pick the fruit off the fruit trees.
I got an apple.
I got avocados. There's
used
the
to
oranges from my tree, you know.
Yeah. And then one time he had tamales. He came home, but it was just so fun. I mean, it was really sweet. But one time he I'm like, what is a Wrigley gum?
What they have?
He comes home and he puts it right there. My husband was a valet driver, if anybody's new. And I'm not kidding. He had 2 apples once. He had a Wrigley, and one time he came home, with a graham cracker, like like those nature bars, that you buy for $2 at the store.
I
was like, oh, okay. And then one time Greg was kind of hungry and he was busy. The guy goes into the gift shop and comes back with some peanut butter crackers.
Oh man, I had some of those peanut butter crackers the other day. That was gross. Nothing beats if you make it yourself.
Right.
So nothing beats it.
So Greg was off and he would take me to the casino. We'll go to the casino a little bit. And Greg goes, are you hungry? Yeah, I'm hungry, but not real hungry. It's the people that they know of, they park their car. They go, oh, honey, here's some peanuts. I got some peanuts. Greg goes, those are my tips.
Snack.
Because they got everything there in their purse or bags, because they don't want to spend. And they had peanuts, all that stuff. And then what else would happen? Oh, I was like, thank you.
Lance and we went to Temecula and, we hadn't eaten, but I packed a lunch. I packed a lunch. It was turkey sandwiches, potato chips, and I had a drink, but I also had a wine and I had a wine glass.
Yeah.
So Lance and I go to the Pachanga. We go into the Pachanga. He says, and we thought maybe we were going to eat at the benches outside, but it was warm that day. So we walk inside. We go all the way to the back. He's eating his lunch. I opened my lunch. Nobody said anything to us. They were just walking by, doing their thing, and we're in.
But they do that. They do it at the older people. They got sandwiches, they're sitting there in their casino with their peanut butter sandwich.
I have no problem with that.
They're sitting there putting their money in, 80 cents slot,
and they're
right?
breaking out their lunch and everything. Yep.
Can I get a glass with some ice and pour their Diet Coke? I
was like telling Lance, I just opened it up and I just went,
there you go.
Lance was like,
I see all kinds of things,
But when he was finished with his TED Talk that night, he was so hungry. We went to that bougie restaurant. We paid over $200 for the stay.
And they do. I mean, when they would win really good. Well, okay, they have the nice Willows, but they love the buffet. They don't have a buffet at the one that Greg was working at, and but it just made me laugh that they just sat there eating their peanut butter sandwich as they're.
And they'll snack all day.
Yeah. And I'm not kidding. Peanuts, apples, oranges. They're like.
That's what the lady takes. I see her. I think she takes like soup. And she'll take like soup. And then she'll have like 3 or 4 bags, shopping bags, like Bonds bags. And it's just filled with food. So they could play all day. And leave at 2 a.m. And a thermos.
Right. Yeah, all the time, it's just
it's God funny. Bless them, man. I'm like, God bless you. Thank God somebody's doing it. because I don't think I'm ever going to be able to do that. You know, they collect he probably collects his military pension plus her social security. She gets her social security. Who knows what else?
Right.
And their house is paid for. So
But
they just go.
right. It was so funny when Greg's dad was alive. He was, he put the money in the machine, but he was so frugal on his coffee and his water, on everything else except for the machine.
I'm like that. I'm very frugal. I'll pack a lunch. Lance will play, but I'll have all the lunches and everything, and he'll play. And I'll probably pay like $20. But he loves to play. He likes to just add more money.
Him and Greg used to like playing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny. Good old days. Good old days.
Yeah. That's the part about being like, I remember Liz and I, before she died, before we,
I still can't believe she's gone.
We talked about at age 55, when we're eligible, you can get on the bus and the bus will take you to the Pachanga from LA. It stops in different locations.
Mm-hmm.
But you had to be there early in the morning. And we had talked about that. Okay, let's do it. When we're 55, we're going to go to one of the bus stops and then we'll get on the Pachanga Express. And it never happened. So sad. Because she was 55.
She was how old?
She was like 55 when she passed.
That's young.
Yeah.
I know. I was watching YouTube yesterday, and this guy, he lost his wife from lung cancer. She never smoked, and she passed away, I guess, 2 years ago. She had her own channel, and now that she's gone, I guess he's taken over the channel and everything. But now he was talking about that he's a widower and he's met somebody, and he was saying how he's talking and this and that. And I was like, oh my God, I haven't seen the channel for 2 years. So I was watching TV last night and trying to relax from my filming all day. And I got to do it tomorrow. I got to flip everything around again, because I got to do scene 1 and scene 8.
Oh, okay.
I hope that's it, because I'm done. That's it. So I got to flip everything around that way. But anyways, it came on. I haven't watched the show since she passed on.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought there was 2 other shows that are gone, that the wife passed away.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, he's still going. He's got like 300,000 subscribers. He lives in Rancho Cucamonga, I think. And he was saying how he's met somebody and how he has he said he always is going to love his first wife, and Jenny, but now that he has another heart, and Jenny and him talked about it and this and that. So he's got kids. So yeah.
That's how Bill and Lisa from Bill and Lisa's Food Travels, they both are widows.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they met. He's Japanese, she's Chinese. Their descent, and they met on Facebook, and they came together after, I believe that he's a widow for sure. I think she is too.
Mm-hmm.
They came together, and then they established that show. And they've been working on that show for years.
They're doing pretty good, right?
It's not. They were awesome. They're exactly the people, like, how you kind of like looked up to Yankee in the South.
Mm-hmm.
I looked up to Lisa and Bill. You know why? Because regardless of the views, regardless of everything and other people's growth, they still showed up.
Right.
And their channel, I think, like last I checked, I think it was like 65,000 or whatever.
Good.
But it took them years. I mean, they've been working on this for years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they don't give up. Then every day they say, we have shout outs. We want to thank you guys.
It's so cool.
They're so grateful.
I think a lot of people connect, and but you have to do it because and I'll say it again. I like it. I do. I really, really do. It's putting the time. Like this week has been, look at all the makeup that I used yesterday. I got to wash this.
It's exhausting having to do all of that. I'm going to
yeah,
tell
I'm a
you
little,
straight up.
yeah, because I have to get up at 4 in the morning because I got to do everything. I got to do the scenes the same now. I got to do everything the same. But it's gonna, if everything works out, the pay is gonna be worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is my first sponsored, like, real.
So my Mac is about ready to go to sleep.
Okay.
But we've been here for about an hour and a half, so this is
Yeah,
good.
I want to say thank you to Allison for coming and asking comments. I want to
asking
Mary
questions.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. That in other YouTube, I see the comments, and they're talking with each other, but it allows the content creator to feedback, to give answers. So I really appreciate it. Lisa and I are going to start sharing. We're going to talk about general little things, but we are going to have some subject on a subject.
And Peyton, thank you very much for being here. We appreciate Peyton. You being here. Our support is really important to us. And Peyton, I'm doing my first official podcast tomorrow.
I thought you were doing it already. I thought you did one yesterday.
That wasn't a podcast. That was live. Tomorrow is, I have it scheduled as a podcast. So I'm going to be on tomorrow. So at 6:00 with Josh. So if you guys want to stop by, please come by and support. And it'll be my first interview with Josh.
Okay. So. Okay, Miss, you're going to be like a Joe Rogan? Headphones.
I have the headphones.
All right. I want to say goodbye to everyone, and goodbye everybody on Facebook. We do appreciate you all being here.
We'll be back again next week.
Y'all have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.